Moments of grace, miracles of Jesus. Luke chapter 9, verses 12 through 27. Jesus feeds the 5,000, and Peter declares Jesus is the Christ of God. Now the day was ending, and the 12 came up and said to him, "Dismiss the crowd, so that they may go into the surrounding villages and countryside and find lodging and get something to eat, because here we are in a secluded place." But he said to them, "You give them something to eat." But they said, "We have no more than 5 loaves and 2 fish, unless perhaps we go and buy food for all these people." For there were about 5,000 men besides women and children. But he said to his disciples, "Have them recline to eat in groups of about 50 each." They did so, and had them all recline. And he took the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, and looking up to heaven, he blessed them and broke them, and gave them to the disciples again and again, to serve the crowd. And they all ate and were satisfied. And the broken pieces which they had left over were picked up, 12 baskets full. And it happened that while he was praying alone, the disciples were with him, and he questioned them, saying, "Who do the people say that I am?" They answered and said, "John the Baptist, and others say Elijah, but others that one of the prophets of old has risen." And he said to them, "But who do you say that I am?" And Peter answered and said, "The Christ of God." But he warned them and instructed them not to tell this to anyone, saying, "The Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected by the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed and be raised on the 3rd day." And he was saying to them all, "If anyone wants to come after me, he must deny himself, take up his cross daily, and follow me. For whoever wants to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake, this is the one who will save it. For what good does it do a person if he gains the whole world, but loses his own soul, or forfeits himself? For whoever is ashamed of me and my words, the Son of Man will be ashamed of him when he comes in his glory and the glory of the Father and the holy angels. But I say to you truthfully, there are some of those standing here who will not taste death until they see the kingdom of God." This story is more than a miracle of bread and fish. It is a revelation of God's great love and provision, a testament that God provides even in the wilderness, even in seasons of drought. Jesus gave abundance. His compassion meets every need, and his power turns little into more than enough. For the believer, it is a reminder that Christ is the source of abundance when resources seem scarce. For the one still searching, it is an invitation to see that his provision is not limited by circumstance, but flows from his compassion and power. Yet the miracle points beyond itself. Jesus calls all who hear to follow him. Discipleship is the path of daily trust and of discovering that true life is found in God alone. God's provision is only the beginning. Jesus calls his followers to surrender and lay down self-reliance. Who do you say Jesus is? For Christ is both the bread that sustains and the Lord who leads, beginning with 2 words, "Follow me."